I made $19,000 on the first day landing in Dubai. Now, I want you guys to understand something. 99% of you will hear this and think, I cannot believe or imagine myself making that kind of money. I must be so happy. You must be so this or so that. I'm making this video to explain to you guys the importance that you have to have in business when it comes to your why and your reasoning behind why you're doing business. 19K, guys, was the most unexpected thing that I was doing, and I'll tell you this why I was unexpected, because I've done more in the day, but the reason why I was unexpected is because I had landed in Dubai from Montreal, which, as you guys know, is where I'm from for most of the year. And as I landed, I cleared out my schedule to make sure that I had adequate time to get my rest, to work out and everything. And as I woke up from my nap, it was around 12 p.m. Dubai time. I see someone that booked in on my calendar for 3 hours from then after my workout, and I had no idea who it was, and it was from my YouTube. And I want you guys to understand, look, that's the power that long form actually has. The fact that you aren't even aware that someone right now as we speak is watching one of your long form content assets is the power that it holds. Do you guys understand that I could film a video like this for 20 minutes, and this 20 minutes can be replayed in front of hundreds and thousands of people? And from there, people will want to work with me. They can understand how I am as a person, and they can convert themselves just by you doing one single input. That's exponential. You guys understand? Exponential inputs for exponential outputs. So as I was saying, right, I ended up waking up, I saw a booked call, and he had said on the form how serious he was to want to work with me. For someone to want to work with you and invest multiple 4 to 5 figures, and they haven't even spoken to you on a call or met you yet. Can you guys imagine to the level of how strong your funnel system and your videos are? Do you guys understand what you have to do in the marketing aspect for people to want to work with you before they even speak to you and see how you are? And that's exactly what happened, because this guy ended up paying me $13,000 USD off a crypto transfer, as shown in this screenshot over there. And the reason why he was able to do that is because he knows, likes, and trusts me so much with my content, and he sees how consistent I am. Because guys, in business, let's face it, that's what it is. It's consistency. That's what it is. It's the fact that you can display your own personal brand and your own personality through the lens, through the screen, and people can perceive what kind of person you are. In this day and age in 2026 in the info industry, it's no longer just how much value or education you could provide, because truth be told, there's someone out there that can spit the exact same information. People are now buying into who you are as a person, into what kind of guidance you can provide, and what personality you have. So ask yourself, the way I ask all my clients, why would someone buy from you? Pause this video, look through everything, take a list, and write down 10 reasons why someone would buy from you. Actually go as deep as possible. Then once you write down that list, ask yourself, okay, I have these 10 things. Is this being shown through my content? If the answer is no, you have a problem. Why is the answer no? Why can't someone see how you were raised, or your upbringing, or your core values and personality, or your hobbies through your content? Because isn't that what a personal brand is by nature? But guys, we've been lost in the sauce of the info space of just giving the same information in the same way as your competitors. Therefore, you self-commoditize yourself as a byproduct. What I tell all my clients is do that little exercise and have that by your side every time you film content, right? And I want to tell you guys the feeling I had when that hit. It was 19K in the day, because it was 13K from that guy on top of a 6K that I had of an in-house installment from one of my prior clients. And I remember it clear as day. We hopped off the call, myself and the crypto guy, and he's like, yeah brother, sounds good, send me over your crypto information, I'll send it to you in a couple of minutes after, just to prove everything. And it was a 25-minute call. I land in Dubai. I don't see a call on my calendar for the rest of the day. I go and take a nap. I wake up. There's a call booked from YouTube. That guy is warm, has been watching my videos for a month. He gets on the call. He pips me 13K. He has so much trust in me, and I have so much trust in him. And I just met him. I sent him over my crypto information. And as I'm on the beach, crypto sent. 3 hours later, 6K in-house installment. I'm laying there on the sand in the beach, 19K USD. I've wrote about this moment on my journal more times than anyone can count. I've literally sat there for months on end, and while I was working, of course, I visualized me doing all of this. I visualized it so much, and then it came true. And I felt a sense of gratitude, but nowhere near was I satisfied. 19K in a day, and I was not satisfied one bit. And the reason why is because of something that I did when I was flying on the plane to Dubai. Something I tell all my clients to do, something you guys should do, which is called Socratic reasoning. What that entails is you asking yourself to its deepest core and desire why it is that you desire something. When was the last time you asked yourself, why do you actually desire that car? Why do you actually desire the life that you say you want? Why do you desire the money? What does the money bring you? Okay, it brings me a car. What does that car bring you? It brings me joy and happiness. Why is that joy and happiness so important? Well, because when I grew up, for example, I never had money. So I always felt like I had something missing because I wanted to prove to my other peers around me that I meant something, that I could fit in. Well, why did you want to fit in? Oh, because I had a lack of self-confidence in myself because I wasn't able to be the person and the man that I thought I could be. Well, why not? Well, because the standard raised upon me was to be a standard of excellence, because I come from like a Romanian background where everyone is so strict, the standards or values are so high that if you don't meet them, similar to the Asian culture actually, because I have Asian friends and it's very similar to them, especially Chinese, right? Because from China, they're so strict and stringent with their standards, right? That's exactly how I was when I grew up, and I had that missing. And I always wanted to prove my parents, prove my parents, prove my parents, prove my teachers, prove my coaches. That's where it comes from, understand? It's because I keep wanting to prove to everyone all the time what kind of person I can be when I give it my all, right? That is an example of Socratic reasoning. And from that point, you know what happens? It's from that point, the byproduct of the result does not give you satisfaction or happiness. It's your deepest desire being solved. Making the money doesn't make you as happy as you showcasing to your family the man that you could be. Because truth be told, I'm sure you guys see all my stories and all my reels and everything. There's a reason why I choose not to showcase and flex my flashy life. There's a reason why. The reason why is because the market is so commoditized with lifestyle flexing. The Rolex, the watch, the car, the M4 competition that I have. There's a reason why I don't base my marketing off of. Because I don't want my audience to know me for that. I want my audience to know me for someone that was raised with very little to no money, but with the most humble and modest parents that you can ever have. And I think that is the best upbringing any person could ever have, ever. When I say modest, I mean like my parents came from Romania. After the communism fell, they moved to Italy, where they had me, and they raised me by telling me how grateful I should be for every single little thing. Like my parents would ride the same bike, my dad in front, my mom in the back, and I would be in the basket, right, in the actual front. This is stuff you see on movies. This was my life, you understand? I had this growing up. My parents had that, right? And when I was younger, I never really asked about this kind of stuff because I never really cared, but only recently I started really asking myself, how was my upbringing? How are my parents? And when I see the level of sacrifice that they have given and they've done to have me have the best life ever, this is why I work so hard. Because how can I not give back to them after they've dropped everything in their lives to have me give me the best life ever? This is why I work so hard. This is why it's here. I'm in Dubai, and all I've been doing is training and working. That's all. Because all I care about is giving back to my family, giving back to my loved ones. They can have the watches, they can have the car. I'm telling you, I've driven expensive cars. I've driven the Lamborghinis, I've driven the Rolls Royces, I've driven them, and it does not compare to the feeling of hugging your mom and giving her $10,000, or hugging your dad and helping him remodel the entire house, just because you've placed a bet on yourself. I have invested in myself. I've taken a gamble and I've taken risks on myself so I can help my parents. So ask yourselves, when was the last time you invested in yourself? When was the last time you took a risk and took a bet on yourself to help better everyone around you? Because when you make money, everyone around you has a better life, especially your loved ones. The moment I realized that is the moment I stopped thinking about investing and I started doing. And you guys see on my reels, I'm very big on investing in myself. Because why wouldn't I be? I expect my clients to invest $10,000 into me, $9,000 into me. I expect my clients to understand why they have to invest. So why wouldn't I do the same thing? Why would you not invest in yourself and take the bet and take that action step instead of you asking people to do the same thing for you, but you don't do it? It does not make sense. So that's why I did it. Because my mom and dad sacrificed so much to get me to where I'm at now. I must now sacrifice my comfort, which I do every single day. And I was writing this when I was on the plane in business class, overlooking the entire ocean. I was writing and writing and writing. And that's when all these thoughts started coming to me. I'm like, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's not for the car. Yes, okay, the view is nice, don't get me wrong. But I understood why I really do this. I understood why I want to build a 7, 8, and 9-figure consulting business. It's for moments like that. It's bigger than just money. And this translates to my second why, which is I want to revolutionize the way the consulting and educational business is. I cannot tell you how many people I have on calls that tell me, Jerry, this sounds great, but I have such little trust in the industry because I've been burnt in the past. I have 3 clients that joined this month. I won't tell their names, but 3 clients that joined this month as growth operators and people that want to start or scale their current agency. And they were so fearful and apprehensive of investing in themselves because they've been burnt in the past, because they've been fooled by the lifestyle. They've been fooled that, oh, because you have this car, because you have that lifestyle, you must be good at what you do. And it made me so sad when I saw them holding themselves back because they've been burnt in the past. And that is another reason why I'm so hard on myself and my standards are so high in the business, in the consulting space. Because I see the stigma that's happening in this space. I see how many people are being scammed and being sold fake promises that all I want to do is fix it. The moment someone thinks about starting an info business or scale their consulting business, I want the first thing to be, well, I should go to Jerry. Oh, Jerry's the guy, I should go to him. Why? Because fulfillment's next level. For me to be in business for multiple years and never have a single unhappy client is something I take such pride in, because that is all that I care about. I want to have that brand reputation. I want to have that reputation that precedes me, because that is all that I work for. Because there's such a big stigma in this industry, and I will break it, because I have been breaking it time and time again. These clients that joined, it's been 3 weeks they've been with me, and all they can tell me on these calls is, Jerry, thank you, because now I'm learning more in 3 weeks than I have in 6 months. And they did not take the bet on themselves and take that step. If they hadn't done that, then they would never be where they're at now, which is scaling their clients. But most importantly, guys, have confidence in business. Many of you don't have confidence in business because of a byproduct of having no clarity. When you have no clarity and you don't have someone guiding you, you know what happens? You do the same mundane tasks day after day, procrastinating, not knowing why you're doing what you're doing, and you're constantly copying other people because maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. How can you differentiate yourself when you're copying other people? You're commoditizing yourself in real time, and that is why you keep looking at your inbox, you keep looking at your reels, and you're wondering why you get eyeballs, but no one's DMing you, no one's on the inbounds asking you to join. I have this every day. The reason why you don't is because you're just missing small pieces, and that's okay. I've been where you're at too, right? So ask yourself, why do I want to make this money? Those are my 2 reasons, for example. My family gave it back to my loved ones, proving to my younger self that I can be the person that I want to be, that I will be, and most importantly, changing and revolutionizing the industry of education, of online education. Now that we talk about that, I want to talk to you guys about how was it actually possible for me to actually make $19,000 in a single day. And the reason why is because I've understood how to develop such a strong content ecosystem that it does all the work for me. I've always said this, 90% of my selling is done through the content, 10% of my selling is done on call. I would even argue before the call in the DMs by sending over a couple voice messages. How many of you are doing 90% of selling on the call, 10% through content? And then you're left stuck asking yourself, why did I take 15 calls in a single month and only close 2 and the rest were objections? Because you don't have a proper content ecosystem. You don't have content that triggers the buying psychology of people. If you have a prospect coming into the door, you have to know exactly to his deepest core what that prospect needs to be exposed to in every single angle, in every single variety. Because if you are not posting content tailored to what that person needs to see, then you will lose. You will not make the money you want to make. How can you when your competitors are doing the opposite? They're being so intentional with their brand. That is exactly what transformed my business in the past 8 months. Is being so intentional with everything I post, my story sequences, my reels, my content. Everything is so intentional because I know who I'm speaking to, and I know what triggers them to want to purchase and to buy and join me and join Growth Capital, join the movement, and become the next client testimonial. The second reason and the way I was able to make this kind of money is because I know how to leverage a team to work with me. and for me. Just 48 hours ago of filming this, I recently hired a chief of operations, and this will catapult my business, I have no doubt about it, because he'll be the one in charge of doing the group fulfillment with anything relating to building out landing pages, VSL, sales process, how to leverage AI agents and AI bots in the business. How many people do this? None. Very few. And you guys know why I did this, why I'm paying him so much per month to be able to do this? Because my clients will now be doing and having information that their competitors don't have. As a byproduct with the information, they will use it to be a staple in their industry. And they will outperform their competitors, which means more client testimonials for me, which means my second reason as to why I'm doing this is being more and more fulfilled on. Don't you guys see leveraging a team, DM setters, appointment setters? I had SOPs for everything that moves to within my company. The moment a reel gets filmed, it executes like this. They know exactly what category, what variation, what font, what B-roll, what file to go to. I don't have to say anything, it just gets done. Same with my appointment setter, same with everything, same with my onboarding. That is what you need, is a team. You need leverage. You need structure in your business. That is how you're gonna be able to make days like 19K, like 20K. That's how you're able to do it, guys. Because if you do not have this in your business, then you will stagnate, because you are not intentional and you don't have any leverage and you don't have people working for you and working with you. That is what you need in your brand. And the last thing I want to touch on is the reason why I was able to make that kind of money in a single day. The reason why I'm able to make days like 19K, 10K, 5K days as a norm, base norm. The reason and the way I'm able to do it while I'm traveling in Dubai, living my life at the age of 22 by the blessings of God. The reason why I'm able to do it is because all I care about and all I have to my name is my brand reputation. I don't care about the car, the watch, the lifestyle, the stories, nothing. Your brand rep means the most in this industry. It is the hardest to build and the quickest to lose, and the second you lose it, it's done for. So that is why everything I do is geared in a way to further my brand reputation. The best example is there's a very good hypnotist here in Dubai, and he's making, a lot of content, having a lot of attraction on social media, and he's hosting a mastermind with other 8 and 9 figure entrepreneurs, and he had tickets, only 20 of them, on his story. I replied back 2 minutes after he posted it, saying send me link. A minute later, paid. Guys, I did not think about it. My main instinct was, I'm gonna learn something from this event that will change the way I think. As a byproduct, when I have my group calls and one-to-one calls with my mentees, whatever I learned from that mastermind, I will now give onto my clients. So now they have a different way of thinking. Now my clients will transfer it over to their clients, and that is how I'm satisfied, they're happy, and their clients are happy, and the brand rep just keeps getting better and better. That is all that I care about. I can't tell you how many people I've had on the call where they've been worried about the finances. I go, brother, I don't care about the money. Let's start. I want to help you. I'll help you with the finances and you help me with the commitment. That's all I need. All I care about is brand reputation, because that's how I'll be my competitors. That's how I'll be number one in the industry, by having the best brand rep ever. So when someone hears my name, they go, bro, I haven't heard a single bad thing about this guy. You should work with him. And I'm getting there more and more. As God is my witness, that's how it's going to happen. So that encapsulates the entire reason why I wanted to make this video, to show you how I got to where I am now, to show you the importance of having all the outliers that I've been able to describe, and most importantly, to find your why. Why are you doing this in the first place? What's your reasoning behind it? And once you find your why, you become unstoppable. You become limitless. The way I've been able to transform my life. I've turned my life around in the past 48 months. 72 months, like no one could ever believe. I'm sitting here right now, close to the Palm Jumeirah, in a beautiful condo that I once dreamed about having, with a beautiful view behind me, with a beautiful network of friends, with beautiful business partners, with more money I could ever imagine, with beautiful clients, people that I love working with, I love speaking with client results that I couldn't believe 3-4 years ago was happening. Like my client Game, for example, who's having his first child on the way, while also being happily married, going from making 30K a month Canadian 8 weeks ago to now making 50K a month, and his life changing forever. Or my client Daniel, who 10 weeks ago was making nothing and now making 50K a month from his mentorship. Like, this is why I do what I do, because now their families are happy, their loved ones are happy around them. Find your reason, find your why, and everything else will align. God bless all you guys. I'll catch you in the next. Peace.